Hi there, we're back with another past exam question to explore here. This is a paper 1 question for AQA A-level Business, a 9-mark question. There it is on the screen. Analyse the problems that might arise for a small business from the growth of digital technology. As always, if you wish, pause the video to have a think about what that question is asking, how you might respond to it. And as always, we try to unpick the question to work out what the examiner wants from our response. And we start with what's the question about, the start point. Hopefully we've picked up that this one is about the growth of digital technology. And our argument or arguments need to get to the problems that might cause the development of digital technology. And in terms of the scope and the words to focus on, well, firstly, our context, the wording of the question means we have to focus on the problems faced by small businesses. Our response needs to be rooted in the challenges faced by small businesses, not big ones. And also, the question really asks for 2 problems, doesn't it? It's plural. Analyse the problems. So we need to have 2 separate problems developed in order to give us a chance of getting to level 3, 7 to 9 marks. Well, with this question, we're not given a specific case study like we are, for example, in paper 2 and paper 3, but we are given a context. Our context, our answers must be rooted in the issues of small businesses. And there are clearly a variety of different ways in which we could respond to this. We could pick up on the fact that increasingly small businesses are threatened by large businesses, in particular entering what used to be niche markets. I'm thinking of the likes of Amazon there. The costs, the challenges of investing and upgrading in digital technology as it develops, and also the issues arising from data security and data regulation. Lots we could have a go at, but we just need 2 points. So when you're planning in these responses, if you need to, just pick 2 points that you could develop fairly quickly in terms of the start and the end point. And for this one, I've put 3 on the screen there. For this response, I've picked 2 of them, which are the top 2. So firstly, the challenges, the problem of keeping up to date as a small business, because it can be quite costly. And then also I wanted to pick up on the issues for small businesses arising from the costs, the risks, the challenges of handling data and protecting data, regulation of business, large and small, but because of this growth, this increasing use of digital technology. You'll see what I mean when you see my response. Clearly, you can write any response as long as it's relevant to the question. So I'm just going to pick these 2 for illustrative purposes. Okay, well, let's have a look at my first argument. And what we'll do is we'll just read through it, and hopefully it convinces you as the examiner that it's answering the question. I'll read through it first, and then we'll try to pick out the application, and then we'll have a look at the second argument. Here's the first argument on the screen there, and I've just highlighted in purple this point explain. We use the PCAN method for an analysis question, 9 marks. The PCAN method says, state your point. No more application, no more analysis, just state the point that you're going to develop up to that first full stop. So one problem is that small business may struggle to afford the costs of keeping up with technology as it develops. That's it. That's my point. Okay, let's see if I can go on to explain that. Can I convince you that might be the case? So the pace of change in technology shows little sign of slowing. And like all businesses, small businesses need to invest to keep up. For example, many services are now delivered by mobile apps, with customers expecting regular updates and new features, such as live ordering and improved user experience. Smaller businesses with limited financial and other resources may struggle to afford digital technology specialists, such as app developers and digital marketing specialists, that are increasingly needed to remain competitive. Consequently, a problem might arise if a small business's product becomes outdated or uncompetitive against better resourced competitors. I think that's a decent argument. Take me 3 or 4 minutes to write, but it definitely meets the demands of the question. I think it's focused on a particular problem for small businesses from the growth of digital technology. And I've just highlighted in here in red where I've tried to introduce some application. Don't forget, we don't have a case study here, so we have to just bring in our own examples. And this is a good example of using such as seasoning. So, for example, such as live ordering and improve user experience, such as app developers. I think that's a relevant point, but to meet the demands of the question, we need a second point because it's analyze the problems. We need a second problem. So here's my second problem. Same thing again. It's a pecan paragraph, 1 point. Our first sentence just states the point and then we go on to develop it. So another potential problem is how increasing regulation of technology and risks of data security add to the costs of small businesses. Full stop. No application. Full stop first. Then we go on to explain. So, as the use of digital technology has grown, so too has the regulation of how personal and other data is captured and used. For example, the introduction of GDPR laws and moves by the likes of Apple to protect personal data have made marketing activities of small businesses less effective and in some cases more costly. Similarly, the costs of failing to comply with data protection legislation, such as fines and damaging publicity when caught, add to the technology challenges faced by small businesses. For some small businesses, a major data breach or loss of reputation might create the ultimate problem: business failure. So again, I think you can get away with less than I've written in there, but I think that's an interesting point relevant to the question. And again, I've highlighted here on the screen there in red, where I've tried to use a bit of context, some application, including such as seasoning. So for example, the likes of Apple or GDPR, fines and damaging publicity. So just sprinkle your application into your paragraph to help the examiner spot that you are providing contextualized analysis. And of course, the context for this question was we had to be talking about small businesses. There we go. That's my response. It's a 2-paragraph answer, so it takes a little bit longer to get 9 marks. What do you think? Let me know in the comments section if you're watching on YouTube. But anyway, I hope it's been useful for you.